This is fandom at its most passionate. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the things only Marvel fans will understand. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking a look at problems, situations, and feelings that every die-hard Marvel Comics fan has experienced. Number 10. Arguing over who's the mightiest hero.
Strongest Avenger.
Access denied.
Strongest Avenger.
Access denied.
If you make a list of the most powerful comic book characters, not everyone is going to agree with your ranking. Believe us, we know from experience. The Marvel Universe alone is overrun with mighty heroes, but who would come out on top in a fight?
Who's stronger, the Thung or the Mulk? And show your work.
Whoa, head rush. Okay, well the Mulk kicked a tidal wave into the sun, whereas the Thung gave a piggyback ride to the 1985 Chicago Bears. Whew, boy, that's a tough one.
Anyone who says that the Incredible Hulk would win based on brute strength alone is sure to be met with some rebuttals from fans who would put their money on Doctor Strange, Thor, or one of the X-Men, most notably Jean Grey as Phoenix. The debate only gets messier if we're including villains like Thanos and Apocalypse. While fans will probably never reach a unanimous answer, Stan Lee would have bet on Galactus. Number 9. Pointing out movie Easter eggs.
We've housed the galaxy's largest collection of fauna, relics, and species of all manner.
Marvel movies, particularly the ones set in the MCU, are littered with Easter eggs that may elude mainstream viewers. These inside jokes will pop out at dedicated comic readers though, resulting in laughter and applause. Before Infinity War even came out, fans immediately recognized the Infinity Gauntlet in the original Thor. They were also able to deduce that the one in Odin's trophy room was likely
fake.
Even if you don't catch every hidden detail during a first viewing, chances are you'll watch a Marvel movie multiple times in order to spot references that may foreshadow upcoming events. Speaking of which, true Marvel fans always stay through to the end credits for more Easter eggs.
I think I shall call him Adam.
Number 8. Being bummed about cancellations. There's no shortage of great Marvel stories out there, but not every series is going to sell well, which will inevitably result in untimely cancellations. In late 2017, it was confirmed that Iceman, Luke Cage, Guardians of the Galaxy, and several other ongoing Marvel titles were getting the axe, much to the disappointment of their loyal readers. Such disappointment extends to the medium of television as well. In 2018, Netflix announced the cancellations of multiple Marvel shows, including the divisive Iron Fist and the highly rated Luke Cage and Daredevil.
To Nelson, Murdoch, and Page.
Page, Murdoch, and Nelson.
Hang on a minute. That actually has a nice ring to it.
This wasn't the first time a Marvel show was tragically cut short, as we'll likely never get a third season of the spectacular Spider-Man.
Don't apologize. I never do.
Be it on the printed page or TV, Marvel fans know the pain cancellations bring. Number 7. Retcon rage. Retcons are acceptable when they're correcting the mistakes of the past. When mishandled, however, retcons can change the reader's entire perception of a character for the worse. Many fans felt Marvel had insulted their integrity when it was revealed that Captain America was a Hydra sleeper agent and that Norman Osborn killed Gwen Stacy over their secret love children. Perhaps the most notorious retcon was the One More Day storyline, which brought Aunt May back from the dead, ended Peter's marriage to Mary Jane, and erased the world's memory of Peter ever being Spider-Man. As you can imagine, taking a sledgehammer to a story's continuity is usually a surefire way to piss Marvel fans off. Number 6. Dealing with people who don't like the MCU.
I want to have an opinion about those boring-ass Marvel movies.
When you're a Marvel fan, it's difficult to keep your emotions in check when someone says that the MCU sucks. While most Marvel fans would admit that not every single MCU movie is a masterpiece, it's straight up blasphemous when a hater claims this cinematic universe has overstayed its welcome, or that every film is exactly the same, or that the tone is too lighthearted to be taken seriously. As successful and acclaimed as the MCU is, there's always going to be a curmudgeon who argues that there are too many Marvel movies. Before you Hulk out though, remember to take a deep breath and count backwards from 10.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry.
Number 5. The importance of a Stan Lee cameo. You know that mustached man with glasses who pops up in almost every Marvel movie? Well, you can't call yourself a Marvel fan if you don't know his name. The co-creator of Spider-Man Daredevil, and numerous other costumed heroes, Stan Lee's cameos are a Marvel movie staple. Whether the cameo was poignant or funny, fans understood the significance of Lee's presence and always looked forward to his arrival. With his passing in 2018, Lee's cameos sadly will no longer be a mainstay going forward, but we'll always have these marvelous scenes to revisit.
You know, I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.
Number 4. New number ones. When you're an avid comic book collector, you'll want to organize all of your issues in order. Marvel has made this somewhat frustrating for fans, however, by constantly relaunching comic book lines and then plastering a number 1 on the cover. Let's say somebody is looking for a copy of The Amazing Spider-Man number 1. That means they want the original comic published in 1963, right? Well, not necessarily, as they could be in the market for the first issue of the 1999 relaunch, the 2014 relaunch, the 2015 relaunch, or the 2018 relaunch. Collecting aside, it simply gets tiresome when another new volume is announced every few years as it comes off as a cash grab. Number 3. Seeing your favorite heroes die. You know how soap opera characters never really stay dead and buried? The same rules apply to comic books. Almost every major Marvel character has seemingly died at least once, and consequently has also been resurrected. At this point, it's hard for fans to get that invested when a character is killed, as they're obviously going to be reborn via the reality gem, time travel, or some other convoluted method. Maybe they weren't even dead in the first place. Granted, there are a couple notable Marvel characters who've technically remained dead, such as Uncle Ben, but there's always a multiverse of carbon copies ready to take anyone's place at a moment's notice. Number 2. Marvel vs. DC. It's entirely possible to love both Marvel and DC equally, but a lot of people tend to have a clear favorite comic book brand. So when a full-blooded Marvel fan encounters someone who thinks DC is superior, you can expect a showdown of Civil War proportions. When it comes to the comics, there isn't necessarily a right or wrong answer, as it largely depends on personal preference. Marvel fans relate to the more grounded humanity of the Avengers, while DC fans are more intrigued by the mystical, godlike stature of the Justice League. If you want to get a Marvel fan's blood boiling, however, try telling them that the DCEU is better than the MCU.
What does that mean? Why did you say that name?
Number 1. Movies versus source material.
Stryker finally figured out how to shut you up.
Hey, it's me. Don't scratch. Just cleaning up the timelines.
As is the case with any adaptation, few changes have to be made when a story is transferred from one medium to another. With this in mind, some fans are willing to accept certain changes in Marvel's movies, as long as they maintain the spirit of the source material or provide an interesting new perspective.
It's so hard for me to believe that she's someone's aunt.
Yeah, well, we come in all shapes and sizes, you know.
Other fans, though, are such purists that they'll nitpick anything that deviates from what was already quote-unquote perfect. Of course, there have been quite a few changes that not even the most forgiving Marvel fans could support. Fans still haven't forgotten how Fox initially botched Deadpool and the Dark Phoenix saga. And let's not forget about the Galactus Cloud.
He is here.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.